Real quick, drop in the chat where you are watching from and tell me what ketones have you drank today. I would love to know. And as we're out, as we are at it, message anybody you have on your team who's not on this call yet. Let's load it up and we're gonna get started in about 1 minute. Wisconsin, Heart Tart, Maryland, raspberry lemonade. Ooh, some OGs. Blue Ocean with lime Mitoplex. I've never tried Blue Ocean with any Mitoplex. That's got to be interesting. I like it. I like it. All right. Hop on. We got Mojito Nights. There we go. If I'm drinking Mojito Nights, I like to put fresh squeezed lime in it in a very tall glass full of ice. Shake it up, pour it in there like it's an actual mojito, and it's wonderful. All right, shoot one last message out and we will get rolling. Wednesday Huddle next. Perfect. All right. I'm excited for this call. I've got a special guest that's going to be on to share her story and just kind of talk through some stuff that she's doing. It's been amazing just watching her ramp up her business and actually like relaunch almost like 2 or 3 times now, which is really cool. And just watching the process from there. So we're going to talk a little bit about launching. We're going to talk a little bit about how to create attraction, how to recruit, how to grow your business through multiplication rather than just addition, and kind of what that means. Before we get into that, her and her story and just some of the great things that she's going to share, I just want to talk about the lay of the land and what's going on here in the month of August and coming up September, October, December, January. We're kind of right now in this phase where I believe what you do this month, the seeds that you plant this month are going to set you up for the run that we have into November. And then that's going to lay the foundation for really the 4 biggest months of the year, which is January, February, March, April, May. And I always see it. There's this uptick and then a little bit of a level during December, beginning of January. And then there's this next uptick or this next ramp. And no matter where you're at in this business, whether you've been part of our community for a week, you've been part of our community for a month, 6 months, a year, 6 years, like the cycle of health, the cycle of business is just part of how it works. So what we're always doing is always seeking the new, seeking new customers, seeking new promoters, helping people get amazing experiences with our product, and then at the same time, launching new promoters. So real quick in the chat, drop how long you've been part of our community. I am curious. Have you been here for a week, a month, a year, 6 years? I bet you we have a wide range on the call this morning. We got 3 days. Who's been here for 3 days? Oh my gosh. Welcome, Angela. Welcome to the community. That's so awesome. Excited to have you here. 3 years in September. Kayla, since April. Elizabeth, that's awesome. 5 years, 7 months since last October. So like 10 months. Very cool. 8 years. Diane, 7+ years. Keto Jack, what's up? A few weeks. Welcome, Trish. 3 months, 5 weeks, 3 months, 8 months. So as you can see, we have Justin Merrill, 5 years, Todd, 8 months, 2.5 years, 3 years. What's up from the UK? Couple months, 1 year. I love it. I love it. If you haven't shared yet in there, just share. Because what I want all of us to realize is that either you're launching a new promoter or you're the new promoter launching your business. And as you're on here, I want you to think in terms of how do I launch? How do I create momentum? How do I basically compress timeframes by creating as much energy and as much activity in my business as possible? So for those of you I haven't gotten to meet yet, my name is Nick Martinez. I live out in Minnesota. I've been drinking and sharing ketones now for the last 8 years. It'll be 8 years, August 31st. I used to be a full-time airline pilot. Went from being tired all the time, craving junk on the road, coming home from work, watching my 2-year-old, who's now 10, from my napping position on the floor, to having energy, to being like a happy pilot at 4:30 in the morning in Fargo, North Dakota, when it was minus 30 degrees outside in January, when everybody else was upset and did not love their life or their job. And I'm like, hey, this is amazing. Like, what the heck's going on with you? Well, very quickly, I became the keto crack dealer in the airline. I told everybody I knew I was dealing white magical powder, dropping envelopes of white powder into pilots' V files. They were leaving envelopes of cash in my V file back when we actually had like physical V files. And here we are 8 years later. It's been an absolute game changer in my personal health, the health of my family, in my finances, in our day-to-day life. It was something back when we started, and I'm like, hey, this would be cool. It could help me travel some more, maybe help pay the mortgage, help pay some bills. And I always remember thinking, what if this was as significant as my friend said it was? So if you're new, what I was thinking when I started was, what if this actually worked like we thought it did? I got the phone call from a friend saying, Nick, I found it. You got to do this with me. It's going to change the world. It was their level, husband and wife, flight attendant that I used to fly with, and her husband, their level of uncertainty, their level of excitement, knowing what they had their hands on, knowing it was going to make a massive impact in this massive ripple in the world. They knew, they said, Nick, this is going to change the world, and we're going to build a massive business together. You've got to do this with us. So lesson number 1 of today is, how do you launch your business? You have to have that level of certainty, that level of excitement, that level of passion, and you have to share that with as many people as possible in a compressed time frame, right? You have to share that with as many people as possible in a compressed time frame. And you're going to hear from a guest here in a second. She's going to share with you kind of what she's doing right now in order to do this exact same thing. So you got to think, when I got started, I didn't just share it with a couple pilots or a couple flight attendants. I started to talk to everyone I could. I picked up the phone. Hey, I found this stuff. You got to try it. Hey, I just started with this thing. I don't know if it's going to be amazing, but you know, my friend so-and-so says ketosis is the greatest thing. You got to experience this. And I did that over and over and over and over again with tons and tons and tons of energy. And that is what launched the business, which then over time, I started to grow a network on social media. I started to develop relationships and more credibility and influence. However, in the beginning, we launched. So I want to talk a little bit about the difference today. And when you come to Playbook, if you're coming to Playbook, coming to Dallas, type I'm coming in the comments. We have a training event. It's not too late. There's still a few seats left. I think we had to order more chairs because we have more butts coming than we have chairs at the lab. But we have a few extras still. I see a bunch of you coming. That's awesome. It's going to be amazing. Mandy's already on her way. It is on Friday. For those of you who can't make it, save the date, mark it in your calendar. September 23rd is the next Playbooks. We have one in Atlanta and one in Seattle. So I don't know which one you're closest to. If you live in the center of the country, you just figure out which one you want to go to. But if you're on one of the coasts, pick your coast and let's go. Those are going to be incredible. September 23rd is the date to save and the date to get to. These are, like, in my opinion, if you are on the Zoom and you want to grow this business, these type of events are not negotiable. Like, they're how you grow. They're how you become more confident in sharing, more excited about sharing. It's how you learn the knowledge. And really, it's not the knowledge, it's the belief. It's the heart-centered belief that fuels the action that creates the results over time. So that's the thing in September, right? Then October, we have Cancun. We have our incentive trip, not to the Bahamas, to Cancun. If you've been on calls with me, I keep saying the Bahamas for some reason, but we're not going there. We went there in February. We're going to Cancun. And then December, we have Epic. If you don't have a ticket yet for that, talk with your team leader. They probably have one ready for you at a discounted price. And then in January, you can probably expect another set of these playbooks to really launch the year with. So I just want you to kind of have that vision from a community, from a physical in-person gathering type of thing. Because if we want to stay connected, if you want to continue to grow, it's about being around the fire. It's about coming together. It's about leveling up your knowledge each and every time in order to leave with a higher level of certainty, a higher level of belief than you actually started with, or than you came to that event with. So that being said, the other thing I wanted to mention before we get into the call is tonight we have a guest call. And have you guys been enjoying these themed guest calls where we focus on a specific group? Let me know in the chat if you enjoyed those. What's been the one that's been the most impactful for you personally? Was it the teachers, healthcare, fitness? Laura says teachers. If you like doing these, we'll keep doing more of them. I saw Justin just pop on there. We might do one for people that are in recovery, because I know that's his jam, and there's a lot of people that are in that space. That could be really cool. Hearing different voices and the way they talk is beneficial. I love it, Katie. So tonight is fat loss. And what I love about fat loss is it's universal, because I'd like to lose a little bit more body fat percentage. Believe it or not, like all of us can lose a little bit of body fat, and most of America could stand to lose a lot of body fat. So it's going to be an amazing just testimonial to our product and to really creating the best health of our life. Notice we're calling it fat loss, not weight loss, because really, again, I'm not looking to lose weight, but I am looking to lose fat. So you can talk to the person that's very avid working out, go to the gym and talk about fat loss. You can also talk to the person that is 300-400 pounds that needs to get healthy, and they're going to be attracted to it as well. So one thing we're not going to do on this call is take time to have all of us invite. But I want to ask you this: will you commit to invite? How many are you going to commit to invite to this guest call tonight? Will you invite 2? Will you invite 3? Will you invite 5? Pick a number that's right for you. Type it in the chat and commit to it. And then right when this Zoom is over, we're going to try to end right around 11:30. I want you to commit to 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes, whatever you have, just to send out those invitations. Because to me, it's the act of inviting that keeps the conversation moving forward. Remember, the ACE, attract, connect, enroll. ACE is said with a stutter. You have to connect. And these calls serve as an opportunity for us to connect people to a tool, to a resource, to another person's story. You might have to connect them to 5 different guest calls, and finally they see the one. But because we have this, I have an opportunity now to reach out to anybody that's expressed ketones interest in the past and say, oh my gosh, what are you doing tonight at, I believe it's 8 p.m. Eastern time? They say, I don't know, why? Oh, we're having a call to talk more about those ketones we've been discussing. And we're specifically talking about how people are transforming their bodies with our product. If I got you the details, would you want to hop on? Right? Diane's going to send 22. Denise is committing to 5. Sherry's committing to 10. Lynn's committing to 20. Amber, 20. Kayla, 10. Laura, 10. Awesome. Keep typing in. And if you're committed to invite, I want to see a number from you, even if it's 1. 1 is better than none. I'm spending more time on this than I need to. However, I believe that they're the most underutilized tool that we have, even as leaders, even as champs that I've talked to. It's like, oh yeah, I invited to 2 of the 4 guest calls this month. I guess I should invite to this one, right? If we don't take the time to reach out and follow up, the people that we're following up with are not drinking ketones yet. They're not knowing that this is an opportunity. They're not hearing it in a way that's right for them, so that they're saying, okay, I'm ready to go. We just have to be persistent enough in order for them to be ready to get started. I'm not waiting for them to get started, but I sure am checking in. Hey, are you ready to get started yet? Hey, what are you doing tonight? You want to hop on this call? It's going to be amazing. Yes, I think I'd like the details. Awesome. Here are the details. So with that being said, let's keep moving forward here. You guys having fun yet? Give me a smile. Okay, I see a few smiles. That's good. All right, the person that I'm going to have share this afternoon, I'm really excited about. She's been part of our community for 3+ years, and what's amazing is she came in, got started fast, and then life happened. Business, kids happen, family happen, all sorts of stuff. And she kind of fell off for a while, and her business went from champ, and then it dropped back a bit more. And then she was kind of in this space of like, is she doing the business anymore or is she not? And then lo and behold, I think November of last year, she did like 18,000 in volume. I think January, maybe it was 14 or 15,000 in volume. Well, guess what? She hit Pro Champ for the first time in May, absolutely smashed through Pro Champ. I think she did 111,000 in qualifying volume and created just this massive momentum. When a lot of other people were like, well, I don't know if ketones work anymore. They must have changed the formula, or, oh, they changed the compensation plan. I don't think people get paid selling ketones anymore. This girl was like, actually, you know what? The ketones are working amazing and my business is on fire. What's going on? So I'm just excited to hear from her and some of the stuff that she's doing. And I'll let her just share a little bit of her story because I probably just butchered it there. But Kayla Buswell, give her some love in the chat. What's happening? How are you doing?
What's going on, y'all? Thanks, Nick. So I am Kayla Buswell. I actually have been with Prove It for 3 years in September. So not quite 3+ yet, but excited for when that does happen. And so I started drinking and sharing ketones September of 2020. So during the pandemic, and I simply joined to get my ketones for free. I was actually with a different network marketing company at the time that I joined Prove It. And I was very much like, that is my number one. This is simply just to earn a few extra bucks and drink this product for free. And little did I know that Prove It would become my number one, and I would quit the other network marketing company. And basically, like Nick said, my business took off almost nearly immediately. And we went from Prove It promoter to Champ 6 within 6 months. So April of 2021, we hit Champ. I grew a little bit or a lot of bit of an ego. I like to talk about that because you still got to stay humble, right? Just because you reached your first goal doesn't mean that that is the end all be all. That doesn't mean that, you know, you never have to do anything for your business again. However, that's where my mindset was when that happened. So transparency is key, right? When sharing our stories. So we hit Champ April, May, June, July of 21. And I was like, I don't have to do anything anymore. This is so great. Everybody's doing everything for me. And so what did that do for my business? That put me up here, and then it put me all the way down here. And so I kind of essentially, like Nick said, decided that I wasn't gonna do anything anymore. And I would relaunch here and there where I'd be like, you know what, I really got to get back into this because I got to do this. And then I would like kind of do it where I would go live, you know, a couple times a month. I'd post about the product, but I wouldn't post about my story. I wouldn't post about the way ketones make you feel. It was simply like, here's a picture of a new flavor. Go grab it, right? And I would dabble with the idea of getting back into it, but then November of 2022, I decided enough is enough. I am going to give this 6 months of pure consistency every single day, no excuses. I'm going to shut out all distractions, right? Instead of using my children as an excuse, I'm going to incorporate my children into my business, because I hear a lot of people talk all the time about how, oh, one of the best things about this business is that you can work from anywhere, is that you can be with your kids 24/7. And I was using them as an excuse to not work my business, when I also would preach to people how amazing it is to be able to be with your kids all of the time because of this business. And so long story short, I showed up every single day for 6 months, and we went from, I believe it was like Nick said in November, it was like 15,000 in volume. December, we hit rank 5 on the very last day, which is 20,000 in volume. And I was like, oh my God, okay. And then January, it was like 25. And then February, shortest month of the year, we smashed Champ 6 again. And I was like, okay, this is kind of cool. Like, I know what I need to do to get back to where we were and actually do it, right? And the goal was to try and hit Pro Champ by the end of 2023. And I will never forget, Nick texted me at the beginning of May and said, will I see you at Moore in Kentucky next month? Because, side note, I was very much not someone who believed in going to events, which that absolutely has changed. But I had texted him back. This was on the 8th of May. And I said, yep, and I'll see you there as Pro Champ. Mind you, we had just hit Champ 6 for the first time in almost 2 years in February. But 2.5 months later, I was so convinced and so passionate about where it was going that I knew my team and I would smash through Pro Champ in May. But I didn't know that until like the very beginning of May, when I was like, wow, we went from, I don't even know, like 15K to we closed out April at Champ 6 2-star, which is 60,000 in volume. And for whatever reason, I just knew that we could do that extra 40K and smash through Pro Champ. And that's exactly what we did, except we hit 112,000 in volume that month. So yeah, and now it's just keep going with everything I've been doing and staying consistent and holding my team accountable to stay consistent every single day, no matter what. And
I love it. Thank you for sharing. There's so many great lessons in all of your story. I think that the cool thing that I see in Kayla's story is she's launched and she's relaunched, right? When she got started fast by launching her business. And then she made a commitment in November, hey, I'm going to do this, and took massive action. And one thing that I wrote down here was belief plus action equals results. And she had this level of belief in what she was doing, where she was going, what was possible, and then mixed it with massive action. And it's not like one or the other. It's not like, I just believe it's going to happen and you're just waiting. And it's not just, I'm working like crazy, Nick. Why isn't it happening yet? What's going on? It was, I'm not sure how we're going to do this, but I just feel it's happening. I know it is. And I'm going to work and tell, and I'm going to have this amazing attitude and just know that it's all coming together. And that's exactly what happened. I remember it was like, we still had 4 or 5 days left and Kayla was only maybe at 60,000 in volume. Well, to increase your volume by 40% or more and believe that you can do it, what does that take? It takes a lot of faith, and then it takes a lot of just pure grit and pure doing. So let's talk a little bit, Kayla. We were having a conversation this morning, and Kayla's in a neat spot right now with her business. She's got an awesome like line of leaders that are charging forward, and they're kind of in a place where they're pretty self-sustaining and they know what to do. And she has a choice right now where she can just go micromanage them and just go do calls with them and talk to them every single day. Or she can go grow new and in essence, launch again. So I want all of us to think, whether we're a week in or 3 years in, we're always in a state where it's time to launch and run new people, help new people get started. And if you're new, you can take some notes on what Kayla is doing right now in order kind of to start launching her business to the next level, taking where she's at and then moving it forward, because it's up to us, not up to people inside of our business in order to do that. So Kayla, maybe draw some parallels between what you did in November in order to just kind of get the energy and momentum and what you're doing right now. And maybe I'm just out of left field here and completely wrong, but I'm guessing it's very similar.
Yeah. So back in November, My first champ, so she hit champ for the first time the same month that we hit pro champ for the first time. So new champ was born, but prior to that, her and I linked arms, right? She was like, well, if you're going to try this for 6 months, I might as well do it with you, and we can put our heads together and do put in processes and systems to where we can simplify this even more so than it already is. And so her and I just linked arms, and she would help me host team calls. She would help me lead my people. And I think the key is that she was willing to help everyone, not just the people under her that benefited her, right? And what that did was that taught her how to go and lead her own team. So she spent six to 8 months helping lead our entire team of over 60 within my organization. And then at the end of last month, she was like, okay, like, I think I'm ready to simply just take the bull by the horns and integrate over to her own team chat, right? And so she still remains in mine because I still help lead her. And then she takes what I train her and she goes and trains her team. And now she's got a team of over 20 people too. So not only is that making it so, hold on, I wrote this down. Okay, so growth requires allowing your strong leaders to jump the nest, right? So she could either stay comfortable and have her entire team in my chat and have me as like a backup, or she could take her entire team and show them that she's also serious about it, that she knows what she's doing, and that she's willing to lead them. And like, it's a ripple effect, right? So she'll do the same thing with her people while I go and grow new legs of business within my organization. So right now I have 2 that I am basically launching, right? While I launch myself and go and recruit new. So it's really
I
cool.
love it. So this is a little higher level kind of leadership conversation, and we're gonna get to some nuts and bolts stuff here in a second. But just thinking as if, like I heard years ago, build your business as if you already have 10,000 people in it. What would you do? How would you act? So some of this is planting seeds for as your business starts to grow, as you start to achieve those levels. What are you doing? You're creating leaders. You're not just leading, you're allowing other people to step up. So kudos to you. Great job for doing that, Kayla. It's really fun to watch that level of leadership and those layers start to develop. Talk to me real quick about how you're helping individual promoters hit MVP or MVP multiplier, and what you're personally doing in order to go recruit new promoters.
Oh my goodness, so fun, so fun. So MVP is simply like the only thing that I am teaching them to do. Like, we don't need to worry about any other ranks. It's simply just MVP, because if you hit MVP every single month, not only are you going to get that additional $9,750, but you're also going, like, everything else will follow. Because imagine if you are selling 25 new boxes in the month of August, then you have to go and get new next month and new next month and new next month. So basically what I teach them is to go and get those new customers and then love on those customers and then go and get more. So with loving on those customers, it's also helping them get points to get theirs for free, which then in turn helps you hit MVP again and again and again with referrals, right? So I came up with this concept of, well, I shouldn't say I came up with it, but we have this concept of an affiliate program, which I'm not going to get too much into because it's a little complicated if I'm just explaining it with no graphics. But basically reach out to the people that you know are either loving ketones or really want to try ketones, and asking them if they are willing to be your affiliate and put up a few posts for you. Or I crafted this post to just have people simply put up a post on their Facebook. And it is as simple as I have, and then have them fill in the blank. So this particular customer has 8 pounds that she wants to lose, right? So I have 8 pounds I can't get rid of, and my jeans are tight. I'm trying a new product and I'm looking for friends that want to be testers with me at a discount with a money back guarantee. Comment Tuesday, right? Because she posted this yesterday. So comment Tuesday below if you want to be a tester for the #1 fat loss and mood boosting product on the market. Spots go fast. Now, what this does is it shows that she has a problem. She's found something that she thinks is going to solve it. She wants people to do it with her, to hold each other accountable. It's fat loss and mood boosting. So it's named 2 benefits with a discount and a money back guarantee, all into one post in a simple 2 tiny little paragraphs. So I always tell.
I know I'm gonna get it. Read it.
I'm sorry.
Read it slowly again. Because it said read it slowly one more time.
Okay. I have 8 pounds. I'm gonna send it to you too, but I have 8 pounds I can't get rid of, and my jeans are tight. This little melting emoji. I'm trying a new product and looking for friends that want to be testers with me at a discount with a money back guarantee. Comment Wednesday below if you want to be a tester for the #1 fat loss and mood boosting product on the market. Spots go fast.
It's awesome. And how's the response been with that?
So good. Look, it's like Tuesday. And then I just get them in group chat.
I love it. So how do you get your customers to post this, or what's your way of communicating with them in order to?
Yeah. So if they are someone who's already been drinking ketones and loving them, I just simply message them and say, let's see. Hey, Karen, I know you've been loving your ketones. Let's go ahead and get a post up on your page. So that way you can have some friends do this with you for accountability. And you can also earn points towards discounts towards future orders. Are you in? So I kind of assume that they're going to do it. Like, let's go ahead and do this. And then I'll ask them like, you in? And I have not had anyone say no. I'm sure there will be people that say no, thanks. But majority of the time, people love to help.
There you go. So you guys see the simplicity of that? Kayla is engaging her customers in order to help them refer friends so that they earn points. Somebody said, what's the affiliate program? There's no affiliate program, guys.
I made it up.
In her mind, the VIP program is an affiliate program. What is it? It gives your customers the ability to refer friends and get rewards. That's like the definition of an affiliate program is I get rewarded for sharing the products that I like. Well, prove it's rewarding them with rewards points for sharing ketones with their friends. They refer somebody, they get $20 off their next order. They refer 10 people, right? They're starting to develop those points. They're VIP plus. Now they're getting points every smart ship that goes through, and they start to get their ketones at 50% off. That's huge, right? That's huge. We have customers that are earning, $50, $100, $200, $500 a month in free ketones as a result. So that's really, really powerful. So I love this post. Now, this isn't the only post that your customers can put up. However, this is just an example of if you engage a customer and get them to share their experience, how it can work, right? So if let me ask you this, on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 meaning you've engaged every single customer you've had and you've asked them all if they'd be willing to share or willing to post. 1 meaning you haven't started down that path yet with your customers. Where are you at? Where are you at?
Oh my God.
I'm asking everybody on the Zoom, but
okay, I was like, you don't want to know.
Where are you? I'm curious now that I asked the question.
Probably like a 1.5.
Okay. So here's the neat thing. We're all sitting on here right now. If you're brand spanking new, we're going to teach that you're going to use this same sort of post yourself, right? To create the attraction. Just think, if you started, I saw somebody on here for 3 days ago. Do you think this would be a pretty good launch post? If you posted it with that's authentic to you and the words that are right for you, you're probably going to have people saying, hey, I want to test out this product. Hey, I want to get started with it. Or even a simple post would be, oh my gosh, just found this drink, feeling amazing today. They're like, okay. And then after that, you say, my energy's through the roof. My cravings for sugar are down. My clothes are looser. Can't wait to see what happens over the next 10 days. People are going to comment, right? And then what are you going to do? You're going to message them details and information. So that's awesome, Kayla. Thanks for sharing. Let's see. I know we're running low on time here, but tell me real quick, what are you doing right now to attract more business conversations?
Vulnerability, 110%. You have to be vulnerable, right? So I've heard so many times that facts tell, stories sell. Don't ever stop telling your story. And there are so many angles to tell your story, right? You don't need to just sit and post your entire story if you've been here for 5+ years, 2+ years, however, even if you've only been here for a week, right? It doesn't matter how long you've been here. There should be so many different angles of your story, right? So you could tell the fat loss portion of your story, how you felt prior to ketones, how you feel since drinking them. But the business is like, just pick little parts of each aspect that your life has changed from the business and just tell that one story. So what I've done is I just went and traded in my car for my Champ car. And I wrote a vulnerable post about it, simply explaining like how it works, right? So Prove It doesn't just like show up to my door and give me a car and that's it. I explained how it worked and how to maintain that. So right there, I'm being real with people, right? That this isn't just like, I didn't just get handed it, I earned it. And I have to maintain that in order to keep up earning it, right? And then I did another post where I talked about how there is such a negative vibe around MLM and network marketing, and how before I joined, I could relate to that feeling. Because most of the time people don't like network marketing because they're jealous, because they simply don't think that they can do it. And that's really what it is, right? So I just take some pain points where I'm like, I felt how you felt. Only the people at the top are going to make the money. Only the people who got in first are going to make the money. I have to work 800 hours a week to make money. And relate to, I used to feel that way too, until I tried. And I realized that that is so false, right? And then it kind of just explained why I was so wrong about that and how I can relate to that. So just getting vulnerable with different parts. That's really it. And
I think like, the big thing that Kayla's doing is taking massive action and talking about what she does. Most of us are secret promoters and no one knows that they could actually join you.
Yes, just talk about it all the time.
So it's sharing, like taking a picture of you on the Zoom. Love hanging out with my, my peeps on Wednesdays. This community fires me up. Just simple things that start to plant seeds, to put that in your story. If you're coming to Playbook, getting pictures with everybody that you can at Playbook, and then starting to just drop those into what you're posting, what you're sharing. Somebody asked me to type what the post for a new promoter could be. I just dropped that in the chat. Oh my goodness, feeling amazing today. So glad I found this drink. Energy's through the roof. Cravings for carbs and sugar gone, and my clothes are looser. Can't wait to see what happens the rest of this month. This stuff's a game changer. Post like that's going to create curiosity and get people to comment. So I want you to think about this, and as we start to wrap up here, there's two kind of phases that you can be in this business, and you kind of have to be in both through different times. You might have a bigger focus on one or the other. The first is launch, right? And launching your business is about having as many conversations in a short period of time, compressing that time frame, because that's what will create the energy. Think of a plane taking off or a rocket launching out of this atmosphere. It has to produce a ton of energy to get that thing just going straight up. And you spend most of the gas getting it the first probably mile into the air, then after that. Why? Because it takes a lot of energy to actually launch. Most of people that when they start and prove it, never actually launch their business. We never actually take that action. So if you're new, or if you're in a situation where even like Kayla says, I'm ready to go to that next level, I need to relaunch again. What does she have to do? She has to go create conversations, talk to as many people as possible about ketones, social media, online and offline, right? And then over time, you think of it as grow the know, like, and trust factor. You have to grow the network of people that know you, that like you, that trust you. And whether that's building a community social media wise, whether that's going to networking groups, whether that's cultivating relationships locally, that over time, now if you do that for 6 months, now you have all these relationships. Now you can launch again. Why? Because now you can have lots of direct conversations about ketones and create excitement with that. So I want you to view what you start to learn with the lens of, all right, how can I launch a new promoter? How can I launch or relaunch myself? And then what am I doing over time to grow, to plant seeds, and to develop these relationships? Kayla, any last words to, let's see, what would you say to somebody that's brand new, just getting started, wet behind the ears, excited about ketones? What advice would you give them?
Oh my goodness. Stay excited about it always. Stay excited about it always. And just know that however many no's it takes will get you to the yes. And people are not always going to purchase right away, but that does not mean no forever. That just means no for right now. So the more you stay consistent, the more you build trust with them.
I love it. And what would you say to somebody who maybe they've been here for a year or 2 years, and maybe it just hasn't happened yet, or it feels like it happened once upon a time, but it just isn't happening now? What would you tell them?
Go back and remember what it was that you did back then that worked, and redo it all over again.
Awesome. I love it. Well, guys, thanks so much for being on today. It's amazing to see all your faces. I'm super excited for our guest call tonight. Let's use some of these opportunities to share, to create conversations, and then let's invite those people, what we committed to the guest call tonight. So I hope you guys have a great day. Thanks for being on. Appreciate all of you. Kayla, thanks so much for sharing your story and for being here. And we'll talk to you all soon. Bye-bye.